Welcome back. Let's go straight over to the West Coast of America and talk to the host of the Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered, Kinsey Schofield. Welcome, Kins.
I like my name and my title like you, Kevin.
Yeah. How many times do I have to say Kinsey Schofield in that intro? About like 25 times. That's good enough for me, Kins. Seriously, I was really intrigued by this story in the Mail on Sunday over the weekend, yesterday, in fact. And it's this story at Harry's new royal court. If you're watching, I've got the double page spread in the Mail on Sunday, all over page 6 and 7. And basically they've hired 11 people to
White people.
To change their entire operation. Now, all of these people will be on $100,000 or so more. I mean, what are they all going to do?
Well, first of all, if I were a monster, I would accuse Harry and Meghan of unconscious bias based on that sea of white you see on the screen to your left there while you're looking at all of the images of these new hires. I mean, Harry and Meghan are the king and queen of DEI.
Not here, they're not. There's not a whole lot of diversity in this lineup, is there?
Is that not the truth? I mean, I am shocked at the lack of diversity when it comes to these new hires. And then, you know, Prince Harry, every time he opens his mouth on television, he's talking to us about how he fears history repeating itself. Well, in that theme, if history continues to repeat itself, they have a group full of skillful, talented, brilliant, new advisors. And we expect Harry and Meghan not to listen to them. Not only not to listen to them, but in Meghan's case, potentially not be very nice to them.
Yes, indeed. Her track record of staff relations isn't exactly top of the charts, is it? But seriously, so 11 people hired into Montecito. They're not going to work for the Archwell Foundation, which is Harry and Meghan's sort of laughable charity outfit, which hasn't done anything, doesn't do anything, doesn't have much money, doesn't donate to anybody. God knows what the hell it does, really. This is all to work for Brand Sussex. 11 people. Brand Sussex. So we know what she's doing. She's trying, you know, she's got another TV series coming out on Netflix, With Love, Meghan. She's got her flop podcast series, Confessions of a Female Founder. She seems to be doing a lot of interviews as well. She's got, as ever, her lifestyle site, flogging sort of thin gruel, pretend jam and honey and things like that. So we know what she's got going on. It doesn't really amount to that much. He, meanwhile, doesn't really seem to be doing anything at all. So my question to you, Kinsey, is what are these 11 people going to do? Well,
you and I ask ourselves every week, every few days, if we're being honest, we discuss what is Prince Harry doing. And I wonder if word is getting back to him, because in the Mail on Sunday piece, they say that Prince Harry specifically is really bothered by a lot of the media coverage, the negative media coverage about them, that this is a moment of humility where he's desperate to turn the tide when it comes to their popularity. And this is, you know, how many rebrands have we gone through over the last 5 years? But this is certainly being considered another one of those. How can we try to change public perception and get people on our side? And they're going to try to utilize this army of 11 to create some big, bold strategy that will erase 5 years of harassing the British royal family. We talked about it last week, but page 6 reports over the weekend that Meghan not only had a fight with the editor of British Vogue over not getting the cover, but she personally reached out to Anna Wintour and they did a Zoom because she wanted the September cover, the biggest Vogue cover of the year, the September cover of the US and the UK, and that Anna Wintour was like completely dismissive of her. But we have to keep in mind, Kevin, this is all going on while Queen Elizabeth is dying. In September of 2022, and in the lead up towards that, remember at that Jubilee, we were hearing about mobility issues. She was not showing up to engagements. We knew she was getting, becoming more ill, fragile. If we know, Harry and Meghan know too. And I just don't think people are going to ever forgive all of the shameless scheming we've seen from them over the last 5 years.
And I think it's really interesting what you say. You're quite right, Kinsey, that, Harry has let it be known that he, uncharacteristically, he feels he may have handled things not particularly well over the last couple of years in terms of his behaviour and his image, and he believes now he's got some image repairing to do, which may be something to do with this blizzard of hiring people at Montecito. But he's going, oh yeah, maybe, I did do things right. Well, no, you didn't do things right, Harry. You went over there, you gave this horrible interview to Oprah Winfrey, you accused your own family of being racists. That was a lie. That was unjustified and extremely cruel. Then you wrote your book revealing all the royal family's secrets, intimate secrets. Why did you do that? For cash. Meanwhile, your wife's venal pursuit of billionaire status is just embarrassing, trying to monetize her minor royal status. And then finally, that dreadful interview that he gave to the BBC 3 weeks or so ago after losing his long, stupid legal battle to be given armed police protection when he comes to Britain. He neither warrants nor deserves that. We always knew he was going to lose that case. When he did, he threw his toys out of the pram like a spoilt brat who didn't get his own way and started talking about his dad not talking to him. Who can blame him for that? But also that his dad, King Charles, was in collusion with shadowy figures in the government, and they wanted him dead. They wanted Harry dead. I mean, this guy, he's losing his marbles, but everything he has done that I just listed, plus a lot more, to be honest with you. And then he turns around and says, oh, well, maybe I've done a few things wrong, so perhaps I might have to repair my image. No, Harry, what you've done is you've blown yourself out of the water by 5 years, 7 years, arguably, of atrocious behaviour. You can't repair your image. It's irreparably damaged.
Well, one of the sources actually says Harry is so unpopular. He has last conceded there's nowhere to go but up. I mean, that's pretty bad if you feel like that you're. But what I am curious about is this report that he has a commercial venture that we should be finding out about in the next few months. That, the professional separation, Meghan's going to chase entertainment with a vengeance, and what could Prince Harry potentially be up to? I know that this sounds tacky, but I'm wondering if he's going to head into the alcohol space, because that is so trendy. All of the celebrities have their own whiskey brands. There were rumors that Meghan would have her own rosé. There is a little bit of royalty when it comes to a classy beverage. So I'm like, could he go into the alcoholic beverage space? He's
very
so
interesting.
lost.
I reckon, Kinsey, second-hand cars. Honest Harry's Motors, best bargain, something like that. What do you reckon? But I think the alcohol's a good idea. But yeah, you're right. They are threatening, promising us that he's got a commercial venture coming up. And as I think I've said to you, I'm convinced that the big story about these two going forward is going to be financial. She's not making enough money. As ever, isn't making any money. I don't think it ever will. The TV shows, not much of a future there. Daily Mail on Saturday reporting she's going to be offered a third series of With Love Meghan by Netflix. I'll believe that when I see it. I don't believe that story. So she's not making enough money. He's not making any money. They're living billionaires' lifestyles on millionaires' money. They're going to have to find some cash from somewhere.
Well, if Netflix continues to be generous, that will be a light at the end of the tunnel. But if you're curious, Justine Bateman, who, remember, called them like tragedy vultures, wrote a really interesting, unrelated piece about Harry and Meghan over the weekend on her Substack, I believe, about how when it comes to streaming, the suits are no longer invested in analytics, and it's now about if a project suits their purpose and their agenda, and how how streaming has changed the game as to what kind of content is made. And I think that's all we're seeing here with Meghan and Ted Sarandos. She has kissed up to him. She was kissing up to him at the Beyonce concert in LA. She has established a friendship with him, and he is buying into it. And this is her meal ticket.
Yeah, well, he needs to be careful. I mean, I think what Ted Sarandos likes about her is she does make a lot of noise. So people who make a lot of noise, you know, arguably they can turn that into money, making money. But the way I see it is, yes, Meghan makes a lot of noise. But does she make any money? Can she make any money out of this? I think it's extremely unlikely, but we will watch this space with interest as always, Kinsey. Brilliant to talk to you. We'll talk again, I think, tomorrow, and then maybe my show on Friday. So the great Kinsey Schofield there, the host of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered.